In the book of Daniel, we're confronted with a beautiful story concerning three boys. They're actually known as the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was not their true names. These names were given to them by the Babylonians to erase every traces of the true God, the monotheistic God, Jehovah, the Jehovistic God, from their memories. But they knew who they were. Shadrach, his Hebrew name was actually Hananiah, which means Yah is gracious. I'll say amen to that. Meshach, Meshiel, his Jewish name. I am of little value, because they understood that God was the greater force in the world and not them. Abednego, his name was Azariah, which means Yah is my help. Amen to that again. The Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar, at that particular time, had erected this image of himself that was well over 9 feet tall, and he wanted these young men to worship, not only the young men, but everyone under his municipality. He wanted them to worship this image when they heard the sound of the music during this particular time. The three boys, they were so committed to their faith, they were so audacious and so powerful, they said, we're not going to worship this image, because our God, the monotheistic God, is the only one that should be revered and worshiped, the Jehovistic God. But at any rate, when the king had heard that they were not going to worship the image, he was wroth and upset, and he said either they will turn and worship, or they'll burn. They were like, well, we're just going to have to burn. And let me tell you what, the king wanted to make an example out of them. And this is what the enemy is trying to do to you. He's trying to negotiate and bargain with you, but you got to be firm in your faith. You got to be audacious. You got to be strong, and you got to be committed to the cause of your faith. And let me tell you what, because they were so committed, they were ordered to go to this fiery furnace that was turned 7 times hotter. As I said, the king wanted to make a prime example of them, but they didn't care. And they were ushered to the flames, and the first casualty of the flame was not the three boys, but it was the very one that escorted them to the flame. Even though the enemy is trying to escort you to the flame, he's going to be the first casualty. You don't have to try to fight your battle. God got you. He got this. Eventually, they were put into the fiery furnace, but God insulated them. The fire could not do anything to them, because as Nebuchadnezzar looked into the furnace, he saw an image likened unto the Son of God. God was in the flames with them, and the flames could not do any harm to them. The only thing that the flame was good for was to release their bands. Their hands and their feet were tied. Their feet was tied, and the flame burned it away. The hair on their head was not even singed, because God was in the fire with them, and he's in the fire and in the flame with you. So don't lose it. Just give him the praises. This is Pastor J, your life coach. Make sure you like, share, follow, or subscribe.